and I had lost all motivation, didn't want to get out of bed really, like just like typical low-level symptoms of depression, I'd say. And that was probably one of the darkest times. Nothing crazy, nothing like suicide or anything like that, but definitely some times where I'm just questioning my life and questioning like, why have I put all this effort into this one game if I'm not even going to get what I wanted out of it? I really started to think that I'm not good enough, and then I've put all this work into this thing that I'm not good enough for.
What's the point, kind of thing?
Yeah, what's the point? Yeah, that's probably the darkest time, I'd say.
What helped you out of that? Approximately, without it being too weird. Good. Fantastic. Welcome to another episode of Going Pro, and first time, 7 a.m. in the morning, early pickup. We're on that ATP Challenger hustle here. Dane here. So we are with Dane Sweeney. He's playing the ATP Challenger here at Playford, and he's got to play. We got to get him. Got to get him back to the hotel so he can get on that shuttle. And we're just making it happen here today. So super stoked to have you on. Thanks for being here.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Current ranking of 259. You've had a career high of 225, and you're coming off a Masters 1000 win in Shanghai. You're only 22 years old. You're flying. And you've got a lot of opportunity and a lot of good things ahead, with a lot of time left. So not that you can't make it at a later age, but you've really positioned yourself in a good spot to actually have a platform to really do something with your tennis. So we are really stoked to have you on.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks so much.
I really want to start with your junior career, man. So were you always around the mark as a junior? Were you playing junior slams? Kind of what was that tennis journey like for you up until the age of, let's say, 17?
Well, I started tennis really early, about 18 months or 2 years old. So I think that put me
18 months. What do you mean 18 months?
Yeah. Well, my parents, I can't remember, obviously. Well, my parents would say, my brother used to play tennis. He quit when he was 16. He's 11 years older than me. He would be training. We had a court at our place. He'd be training. Apparently I'd be crying my eyes out on the side of the fence. And as soon as my parents put me on the court and got a racket in my hand, I would stop crying. And then from then on, I'd started hitting balls. So I guess you could say I started then. So I think
that's like that's like an equivalent of like handing a kid a phone now.
Yeah.
Just to shut them up.
Yeah. But
Much more healthy.
I think that starting so early helped me be a good junior from a young age. Mm-hmm. I was always kind of in the top in Australia for my age, 1, 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. Then I got a bit of a reality check going to Europe when I was like 12, 13. You start to go overseas and start to realise that you're in a little bubble in Australia and you're actually not maybe as good as you think you are. And there's a lot of guys out there. I think that made me realise that far out, like there's a lot of good players, and it's going to be super tough to make it. But I was always kind of up there in Australia.
At that age, when you doing well in Australia, were you getting a bit of a big head, thinking like I'm doing really well, and then going overseas? Did that kind of humble you and make you work harder?
Yes, I think it made me. Yeah, I think it did motivate me, but in the same sense, maybe I didn't think it was going to be as easy as I thought. So it was a bit more like scary, maybe like, maybe my future and my ideal of making it's maybe a bit more out of reach than I thought. But yeah, definitely motivated me, and realizing that there's so many amazing players even from such a young age. And but I think those experiences really helped, and I did play 5 slams, junior slams coming up. I think I got to 20 in the world juniors ITF. Mm-hmm. Got a lot of my points in Asia, like a lot of the Aussie guys do. There's 5 Grand Slams. I think juniors was massive learning experience, as it is for every player, just to realise how powerful the mind is. I played 5 slams, and probably 3 of those matches I completely shut the bed. it's one of, there's matches where you walk off the court, you don't even know what just happened, and you're just so pent up with so much anxiety and so worried about the outcome and about how I'm going to look, and they're playing in front of people and what they're going to think of me, and I guess it was a massive learning experience to maybe take it a little bit less serious. And then once you get out of that junior bubble, when you turn 18 or your 19th birthday, you realise, wow, why was I so worried? I thought juniors was the be all and end all. I was so much worry about it, and then I get out of this and I'm starting to scratch, as is everyone. Even if they're number 5 in the world juniors, they start from where I am now. So it's it made me realise I was just worrying so much, and that was making tennis less enjoyable.
Today's podcast sponsor is Electric Road Agency, who were formerly 4RT. Now, if you want a team of strategists, designers, producers, creators who drive stories to tell your advertising and marketing needs, these guys are the best in the business. They've been extremely influential for us at ATA. They've driven our media game forward to new levels that we never knew that were possible. And they've done it with countless brands, big, small, it doesn't matter what the size. They just love telling your story. So they specialize in health, wellness, fitness, tourism, construction, and they are just the best in the business in creating adaptive solutions to find how to tell your brand or how to discover your brand and tell that story. So highly, highly, highly recommend these guys. And if you want to get in touch, please go on electricroad.au or search the Instagram handle Electric Road Agency, and they will answer your email, your call, your DM, and they'll be in touch and they'll be able to tell your story very well. Did that release the pressure? Did you start to play a little bit more free and just step into your game a little bit more at that point?
I can't remember super clearly, but I definitely changed in perspective and a lot less weight on the shoulders as soon as the junior career kind of left.
Did you pick up points quickly after that?
I think I got my first point against, I know I was against Scott Pajunas at Mornington, 6-4, 6-3. Thanks.
Thanks for coming. Cheers.
I was 16. I believe I was 16. So I was kind of picking up a few points towards the end, but I was definitely primarily focused on junior results.
Mm-hmm. So what was that period like from 19 to 20? Because was that the COVID time?
Yeah.
How was that period for you with your tennis?
I was kind of just starting to play on the futures level. I was playing actually at Geelong on the grass when the COVID kind of took over and the tournament got cancelled. We saw the news that Indian Wells got cancelled. Like, what? Like, how is it getting cancelled over this flu? Yeah. And it was. I would have loved to have a smooth progression because I think I was, playing pretty good, and it would have been great to have those development years playing futures. But at the same time, there was a lot of UTRs at home. This was a great opportunity to make some money, get a lot of matches. Yeah. During those couple of years, I played a bunch of UTRs and travelled when I could. I think I played 50 matches in 2 months or 3 months at one point.
That's nuts.
It was a ridiculous amount of matches, which is great.
Because I've spoken to a few of you guys about that period. So Callum, who we had on, Lee, and yourself, who you all played together all at that time. And it was just, I think that helped that crop of players really accelerate their tennis just to get so many matches in that time to really strengthen the mind, get match ready, build some confidence, build some finances as well, because you guys were actually making some decent money on the UTR tour that you could have put away to then travel. So how did you feel like that period in the UTR circuit actually helped you to then, before that next period where you started to maybe play the ITFs again?
I feel like it was great just from, you'd kind of get to the end of the tournament and you'd be pretty burnt out, or maybe playing 4 in a row. You're feeling pretty scattered towards the end. But you still somehow have to get out there and just compete. Yeah. And you're playing, it's pretty good money. So it's not like you don't care. And you're playing for your ego, you're playing for the image of yourself. So you want to do good. So I think it was great just to get match after match. And even if you lose, you're still playing. So I feel like it's really good strength in the mind. You're out of the tournament and you may be feeling really down. You don't want to be there, but you still have to. You don't have to. You can pull out if you like. But it was really good training mentally, I'd say. And being able to just play match after match, yes, I really want to win, but also it's a UTR at the same time. So maybe there's that little bit of freedom in being able to implement some development and trying to, try some new things, work on some things. So I think it's great, just have that consistent match play.
And then from there, after that kind of period, you've basically been on the road 2 years straight, right?
Yeah.
So last year and then this year, you've basically been traveling out of Australia, after the Aussie summer for the whole year.
Yeah, basically I think even 2021, I did 6 months straight. This year I did 7 and a bit months straight, traveling for probably like 40 weeks of the year, like this year and last year.
Is that the first time doing that the last 2 years?
Yeah. It's been, I think the UTRs, helped great. I've won a couple of futures back to back, and I think maybe that's from playing those UTRs, playing week after week, playing 6 matches. I think all those matches really helped. That traveling has been tough. It's taken some adjusting to get used to, for sure.
In what way? Like, what's it been like? What are some of the key kind of learnings, and what's it been like for you?
I feel like it's been really, I've valued more listening to how I feel. I feel like on the tour, if I'm traveling, I can feel really burnt out. And in the past, I probably tell myself, no, just push through it. You're being weak. Just keep going. You got to be a robot. Look at all these guys out there. You got to be a robot if you want to make it. I feel like now I'm starting to listen to how I feel a bit more, taking some more days off, doing some more chilled stuff, realizing, there's a lot more to do than just tennis. And I feel like finding the balance has been probably the most difficult thing.
Yeah.
You want to, obviously, tennis is your number one priority, but you're also a human being. So you got to take that into account as well.
Mad respect, man. I really like what I'm hearing. And from what some other players are talking about, they say similar things. It's so hard to find that balance, because I can imagine, just say you have like a bad loss, part of you wants to just get back out there and train, like, no, I want to go back into it. But you might not be actually ready to jump back into it. How do you kind of discern and figure out when it's actually time to go, like, no, I need to get back and get stuck in again, or I actually need to rest?
I mean, you gotta push yourself. There's definitely some effort. You can't just go with how you're feeling all the time. Your mind's gonna say, especially after a loss, I'm one to want to have days, like have a day off, and like especially if I'm struggling mentally, or if it's been a lot of weeks on the road, or if I haven't been going great, there's got to be you got to push yourself a little bit, but at the same time, you can't go too far the other way, because I've had periods of that where I'm push myself way too hard and I start hating tennis, and I start feeling like I really, really don't want to get out there. I feel like that's the balancing act is incredibly difficult.
Is there anything that helps you to kind of find that balance in terms of like practices or things you do outside of tennis that help you maybe relax or feel a little bit better to make good decisions for yourself?
I feel like hanging out with friends and just talking with them, getting their perspective and their help. But no, I wouldn't say I do. I just always try and really be honest with myself as much as I can, as much as it is possible. I wouldn't say there's any practices.
Yeah.
But just really being really true to yourself as much as you possibly can to know to really get to the true reason why you're feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not actually tennis. It's my relationship to tennis. Like maybe I think a lot of tennis players, the reason why they start to hate tennis or they tank is because they actually want it to make it too bad, and they're too attached to the as I am, too attached to the ideal of making it and what you think it's going to get you. And I've felt the more I've been overly attached to that, the more built up and pent up I am on court, and maybe the more the losses hurt, and I start to become super result based and forget that it's all about the right now, and the success is right now. I'm doing what I love, so that's why I just be doing it to chase some goal.
Yeah. Is that when you get a little bit tighter? Is that when you start to get a bit tight and just rigid in how you're playing?
Yeah.
When you start to get so attached?
Yeah, this year's been exhibit A of that. It's been like the first year where I've been able to make the Grand Slam cuts. So I've been on the cusp the whole year.
Yeah.
And as much as I've told myself, no, it's all about the process. You know, it's don't worry about the results; they'll come. Like you hear all this stuff, and you know it's all true. But at the same time, you got your monkey mind saying, you know, like, what about the fame? What about the money? Or like, what about the girls? And it's so like, and then I feel like this year I've been so close to making the same cuts. Every time I'm on the court, I'm thinking, oh, if I get these 10 points, if I beat this guy, I've got this many points dropping off in 3 weeks. Wimbledon cuts in 4 weeks. Like I got to do this, and then I've gone completely away from playing the way I should. That's going to kind of progress my game, and I feel like my movement's been a curse this year because like I move so well, but it's stopped me from trying to be attacking and playing good brand of tennis. I've been the whole year. I have the shortest fuse of all time. Anytime I miss a ball, I want to smash my rackets. I've just been holding back all this anger and all this frustration. I've just been playing so passively, puddling, hitting the ball down the middle and just running and hoping the other guy misses for the whole year. And then kind of as soon as the US Open cut was over, and that I just felt, even though I was 1 out of US Open for 4 days, I didn't get in. But after that, I just felt the biggest sigh of relief. I was like, oh, that's over. And from that moment, I was like, oh, like, it just made me realize I was taking tennis way too serious. You know, obviously, as I said before, it's a balance. But I was taking it so serious to the point where there was no room for enjoyment. You know, I was so worried about what could happen, what might happen, that there was no room just to enjoy the moment, enjoy that I'm playing this game against this guy, and I just got to test my skills against his. And wasn't able to enjoy it, and think that helped me in Shanghai. Yeah, kind of relinquished a lot of expectation. I was like, fuck it, you get to play this Masters event. You've had this whole year of worrying. Let's just relax and let's just enjoy the sport. You get to play this 1,000 event. It's pretty amazing.
Tell us about how that unfolded. Sorry to butt in again.
No, that's okay.
Just how that period of leading up to Shanghai, how you changed your mind, and then that experience of the tournament in qualifying, and then in the main draw when you got your first win.
I wouldn't say I changed my mind. I'd say the year changed my mind. Yeah, it kind of made me realize. Yeah, through experience, I definitely learned that. This year I was just, because I think I want it too bad, it can actually be a detriment sometimes. It's helped me a lot. It motivates me and it pushes me to work hard in the gym and get a lot of hours out in court. But I think sometimes I can overanalyze and over worry. But so before Shanghai, honestly, I couldn't have cared less that tournament. As soon as I lost, I knew I was going home. So I was like, I don't care. I want to go home. Like, not that I was not going to enjoy the tournament and stuff. And it was amazing. But at the same time, if I lost, I didn't care. So yeah, I went out to the matches, and I felt so free on the court. I was able to play the way I wanted. You know, I was not, my self-worth wasn't weighing on every single shot. So I was able to play so much more relaxed. And I just felt way more light, and I felt like the tennis became like a chess game again. And I was able to really have a lot of intent with what I'm trying to do with each shot and be a bit more creative with it. But yeah, I feel like the lack of care about the result definitely allowed me to play better.
That's amazing.
It was a really good lesson. Not to say I didn't care at all. I wanted to win, but it's definitely much less of a priority, the result.
Just being okay as a human, regardless of the result. Like, I'm okay as I am. I don't need this result to really show that, like, I'm worthy. And it kind of relinquishes this control where you can just play and be free. Well,
I feel like we're all conditioned to think that we need to achieve, need to make it in whatever domain we're doing, and that's going to bring us to this place of happiness, or maybe we're going to feel really good about ourselves. It's going to be the piece of the puzzle that fits, and we're going to. But
it's really interesting.
I feel
how those moments come, and then you realize, like, not really anything's changed. I still am me, and I just still got to crack on in the world.
I know. I've seen so many players that have made it in my eyes, and that I've grown up thinking making it, wow, that's it. you know, that's it. As soon as I make it, I've done it. That's amazing. Like I've found that thing. And I've seen so many players they've made it in my eyes, whether it's top 100 or people that have been top 20 for ages. And some of them, they're rude to the people at the tournament. They don't look like happy. And so I think I kind of saw this when I was a bit younger at the bigger tournaments. And I thought maybe making it isn't all that I thought it was. Maybe I've just put this ideal on a pedestal, but really it's right in front of me. There's people that have made it, and they're not what I thought it was going to be, you know.
So for you, it's changing now that you just want to be you. You want to feel free to express yourself and just play a good brand of tennis and not care about making it. And that just whatever comes of the journey for you.
Yeah, well, I feel like wanting to make it's going to be there for me because it's been there for me since I was, you know, a baby probably, or when
18 months.
Yeah, 18 months.
I knew I wanted to make it 18 months.
Yeah, so I think I'm always going to have that, and that kind of drives me. But at the same time, even though I have those thoughts, realizing that it's actually it's not true. That's just what I've been told from a young age, as we all have, that it's going to take you to this place, or it's going to it's going to scratch that itch. But
it's a bit of a mind fuck.
Yeah,
it's like you got to almost hold it loosely.
Yeah,
to really push yourself to keep going, but not be so like I need it.
Yeah, almost like just letting it happen. It is tough. Yeah, it is definitely tough to want it, but not need it, I guess. Not need it to do something for you. Just to play tennis just because, I don't know, maybe I think I've told myself I love tennis in the past, maybe to make myself feel good about what I'm doing. But I don't know, maybe I've thought maybe I don't actually love tennis just because I've done it my whole life. You know, I don't know anything else. And that's why maybe it brings me so much joy and stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's tough.
What is it about the game though that you really love? Because it's so complex. There's so much going on.
Probably the complexity itself is it's one of the more fun things. You know, I look at like some jobs and they're doing the exact same thing all day, so repetitious. You know, tennis, there's so many aspects to it. There's different courts, different conditions, rackets, play styles, technique. Like there's so many things going on. I think just trying to figure that all out, and also just seeing something progress is a pretty good feeling. You know, if getting better at something just feels nice, and watching your own level, being able to play at a better level, a high level on the bigger stage in front of people. Probably attention has a lot to do with it, just getting the spotlight on you.
Yeah. But, is that part of it for you?
I think it's part of it for everyone if they're true to themselves, as much as I would like for that not to be the case, for sure. Everyone likes the spotlight. And but I guess now I'm just, definitely the reason for playing shifts over time. And I don't know why I play really right now. I really enjoy it, and it has a lot of ups and downs, and it brings my life a lot of adventure. It's an amazing way to live. Get to travel the world, play a game against other people. Like it's pretty cool to make a living that way.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do you feel like you're a bit of a showman out there? Like when you're playing your best brand of tennis, how would you describe what your best brand of tennis and how it is on court for you?
I don't know if I'm a showman, but I feel like when I'm playing my best, there's a bit of creativity to it. Just looks, definitely I'm smiling more on the court, and there's a bit of relaxed creativeness, I guess.
Bit of that Sunshine Coast.
Yeah, a bit of Sunshine Coast comes through.
Chilled, happy vibes coming through.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of that recently. Last couple of tournaments, but this whole year it's been pent up, bloody, I don't know what you'd call it.
Sydney CBD.
Sydney CBD vibes. Well, I got to let the Sunshine Coast shine through.
100%.
Yeah. But no, when I look like I'm having fun out there and I'm just relaxed, that's when I'm playing my best tennis, and that's when I have the most fun. So as much as I can try and replicate that. I think that's going to help me the most.
Everything we're talking about sounds so simple.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to do. The pressure that is involved for you guys, and especially with finances, like that constricting feeling of like, I got to get to this place, I got to get flights here, I got to pay for this and this and this, and get from place to place and actually earn a living. Otherwise, how do I do what I'm doing? It's so hard to be able to relinquish and let go and do all these things that we're talking about that sounds so simple. But to do it at this level when you actually have this pressure that's constricting you, man, it's so hard. And it's just absolute respect to anyone that can do it, because it's so tough for you guys, and the ebbs and the flows would be brutal sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like it's easy to start taking it really serious, especially when you get at the bigger tournaments. You know, there's TV people there, and there's really famous faces. There's top 10 players. There's Djokovic, and then it's really easy to start taking it really, really serious and thinking, oh, tennis, like I got it, like this is so serious. But then I feel like it's easy to lose the enjoyment out of it through that. But yeah, the juggling act of doing, as you said, booking flights, getting accommodation sorted, stuff. I was never a very organised kid, so I feel like that's straightened me out a bit, like having to do all that all myself. I haven't made too many bad unforced errors at that yet, but definitely still a juggling act.
Yeah. You feel like that's really matured you and helped you grow up very quickly?
Yeah, I'd say it's given me some good tools for the real world, just being able to be organised. I've lived out of home since I was 15. I went to boarding school for 2 years, and I lived in Brisbane for a year, and then I was travelling. I lived in Brisbane for another year. I feel like that, paired with always having to sort out my own life, and tennis can be pretty lonely. You have to sort out stuff all by your own. Definitely, I think that can fast track maturity.
Were there any like key matches or memories from the last 2 years, especially being on the tour, being away from home, that really stood out to you? Some stories that you really kind of, if you think about the last 2 years, that you go, yeah, that really stands out for me?
I think definitely my first top 100 win against Tara Daniel. That stood out.
How was that match?
Yeah, it was great to get rewarded for perseverance after a long year.
Yeah.
You know, I had 6 months straight this year of not winning 2 matches in a row. So I think to get rewarded, I think what kept me going is I've always thought somehow I'm going to end up making it. Maybe I'm just deluded, and that's the string of hope I hang on to. But I've always thought I'll somehow get there. I've just always, not always, I've sometimes struggled with the short-term confidence for it to happen right now.
Yeah.
And I think this year was really tough, but I still had that hope that even though I didn't win 2 matches in a row for 6 months, I'm going to end up there. And I think I played Lestienne this year, who's been top 100 for a little while, and I had like 7 match points and lost, but I felt like it was right. I was right there, obviously. And I played Taro Daniel, beat him like 6-2, 6-3, and that really showed me that I'm actually ready like now to make a leap. I don't have to. Maybe my dream is not that much of a unreality. Maybe I can make it happen quite soon.
Maybe I'm not so deluded.
Yeah, maybe I'm not so deluded. Which is great just for the belief factor.
Yeah.
'Cause I've got close to a few guys that have been really good, but I've never actually like beaten someone top 100. I think that was, and to do it like convincingly, that was a really, really nice feeling.
What shifts for you after like that experience? Has something changed within you that you can tangibly kind of feel?
I feel like there's less of, I feel like I'm more confident, which makes me not want the results to happen right now, because I feel like maybe I believe in my level, so I know it's going to happen. I feel like it's going to happen, so I'm not really searching for evidence that it might happen. I've kind of got the evidence now, and now it's just about just letting it happen, not letting my mind get in the way too much, and not letting it overanalyze. Just let it unfold naturally, because I feel like I've got the level. And might not happen this year, might happen in 2 weeks, maybe it will, might not happen next year. But I feel like now I've shown that I can play at that level, and now it's just about finding that and maintaining it, which I'm confident I can do. So
yeah, Hormozy talks about like really building belief, and like just believing and having worth in yourself is just having an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are.
Mm-hmm.
And on this journey at your age, you're starting to build some of this proof that like I am on the right track, and that's kind of like a reward, like you said, like through persevering through those hard times. They were like fuck, like this is leading somewhere, and I just need to keep going. And all of this learning from this year, I can actually take on board to make better decisions and maybe handle next year even better than what I handled this year.
Yeah, I feel like belief is something athletes would struggle with. For sure, it's probably the hardest thing, especially for me. I feel like there's maybe two, I found in my life anyway, there's two ways I can install belief. There's two different types of belief, I guess. One's from hard work, just training really hard, and I do that. So I have this hard work. So I believe in my work ethic, and I believe that I'm putting in enough work. Mm-hmm. But I think another aspect of belief comes from results themselves. You know, you can tell yourself you're really good and you're amazing and stuff, but if you don't have the results, like once you get the results, then you kind of like, oh, okay, you don't have to like really tell yourself that, because then
it speaks for itself.
Yeah, it speaks for itself. Yeah. So I think, definitely results themselves bring a lot of belief. But yeah, no, it's probably one of the tricky feelings when you go out in a match. Not that it's happened a lot, but when it has happened, I'm not believing myself. You know, it's one of the worst feelings, I think.
So you're leading into that match, you can just feel that you have this fear and this doubt.
Yeah, it's just so much fear and doubt. And when you buy into it, I think that's when it becomes a problem. Because it's really easy to doubt yourself, you know, but it's super easy. And I feel like I haven't been that type of guy that's going around and telling myself I'm so good and stuff. I've probably been a bit the other way. So maybe I've tried to make up for it in my career by working super, super hard off the court. And but I definitely, as much as I think I can make it, when I do get the results, that's when I really install that another aspect of belief.
100%. Some dark times. Is there some things that stand out of just some moments where you felt like, man, I'm really battling here mentally, and this is just so tough, and just questioning everything maybe?
Definitely after a lot of losses, you question everything for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Less so now, but in juniors, losses really, really got to me. That's something I've had to get better at. I still have to get better at dealing with losses. When I was 17, I went on a Europe trip, and I expected a lot of myself that trip. And I think I was doing okay, juniors and stuff. So I went overseas. I just remember tanking every single match from as soon as I went down in the first set, I would just tank. And I've never done that before. I've had like little patches of tanking, but I've never from starter matches like tanked. And I did it for like 2 months straight. I just couldn't deal with the pressure. And I told myself I didn't tell myself, but I was struggling for a while, and I had lost all motivation, didn't want to get out of bed really, like just like typical low level symptoms of depression, I'd say. And that was probably one of the darkest times. Nothing crazy, nothing like suicide or anything like that, but definitely some times where I'm just questioning my life and questioning like, why have I put all this effort into this one game if I'm not even going to get what I wanted out of it? You know, I really started to think that I'm not good enough, and then I've put all this work into this thing that I'm not good enough for.
What's the point kind of thing?
Yeah, what's the point? That's probably the darkest time, I'd say.
What helped you out of that?
I think that's when I started meditating a fair bit. I started looking for answers, probably to get me out of it. I don't know if there's any one thing.
That makes sense though.
Yeah, I definitely started. That's when I started looking for answers outside of tennis.
Because Callum said the same thing. We talked about dark time that he had. And he said that's when he started meditating too. He literally had the exact same answer.
Really? Yeah, I know.
And he's like, it's just interesting that this comes about from this dark times where you start to actually like dig in a little bit more internally to figure out what's really going on here. And it can really birth something new where you can start to handle things a lot better or have a better perspective on how to move through and navigate some of those times.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like as much as they suck and are tough at the time, I've grown the most from periods of dark times for sure. But yeah, just I guess you just start to look elsewhere and start to broaden your horizons a bit. And yeah, it is interesting that he also said meditating. But yeah, definitely. I feel like as well when you learn that the tough times really make you grow, then when they come, you're not so attached to them. You're actually like, oh, kind of thank you in a weird way.
Yes.
You're not like, oh no, this again, like I suck. You're almost like, you almost just let it pass so you don't buy into it as much. And then that kind of shortens the duration of it as well and doesn't make it a reality. You know, you're able to just let it pass.
That's so spot on and such a refreshing perspective. And when you start to actually go like, I'm grateful, like I'm in pain right now, but I'm really grateful that this is happening because I know what's going to be on the other side and I know how much I'm going to grow from this. I just can't see it yet. And it almost just like makes that dark cloud feel not so intense and heavy.
Yeah, it doesn't feel so personal. You know, you just realize that there's suffering no matter what you do in life, no matter how rich you are, how famous you are, there's going to be suffering. So if you're trying to fight it, like it's just you're fighting a losing battle because it's going to come again. And yeah, I guess it takes the bite out of it when you realize that it's actually might help you in some way.
That's amazing. I think that acceptance would help you not spiral so much.
Yeah, because you don't give it so much reality. You know, you just realize there's thoughts and they don't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know, that thoughts actually don't mean anything. It's just a reaction of your head, and you don't give it so much validity.
How long have you been thinking this way? Because you're only 22, and I feel like you got such a depth and great perspective for your age. Is this something that's come about naturally in recent years? Have you always maybe been a little bit more inclined this way?
I've always been quite curious from a young age to have a wide range of experiences and just try and keep an open mind.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there's anything particular happened. Maybe tennis, maybe the dark times of tennis have maybe turned inward, I guess. But
yeah.
No, I wouldn't say there's been, I don't know if there's been anything in particular. But yeah, I've always been quite curious, I'd say.
Because I think you and Callum are quite similar in this way. And it's very refreshing because I'm very inclined that way. But when I look at the tennis pros, I just see no one's out there looking at it from this perspective. I feel like it's quite rare. How do you go about having this perspective, being on the tour and being around so many other people that maybe don't look at it this way? And why do you think maybe tennis players are so maybe scared to look at things from this perspective?
Yeah, I don't know if they're scared. I just feel like you have to, with tennis being so tough now, you have to almost sacrifice a lot of social life for sure to be able to make it. Or people think they do anyway. And parents probably to blame there, putting their kids, and you can't blame them because they probably got told that from their parents. And I guess it's just a cultural thing that we're so inclined to. You have to train so much these days and to sacrifice a lot, and that I think that makes people pretty close-minded. And I've definitely seen that in the tennis realm. There's some amazing people, and everyone's amazing in their own way, obviously. But definitely I get almost a bit. I feel not that I think I have something they don't, but I also wish that they, at least one aspect of one period of life, and hopefully it's not too late, that they open their mind and they experience some stuff after tennis, because I think a lot of them, including myself probably as well, will have a feeling after tennis like, oh, what now? Like now it's done. I'm going to be 35 probably when I finish, or maybe closer to 40 hopefully. But then after that, I still got half my life. And then if I've only given everything into tennis, then like what am I going to do? There's going to be feeling quite lost.
Is that what you try to bring to the tour a little bit more? Kind of this like openness, this zest for life, this curiosity, just to kind of bring this element of enjoyment and being a bit more of a free spirit to the tour in such a profession where it's so rigid and quite robotic in many ways?
I think trying to bring it implies that I'm trying. But I don't know, I guess I'm not trying to do
intentional?
anything. No, it's not intentional. Nah, I don't. Nah, I'm just trying to just be me, really.
How do you go?
Trying to be me. I am me. Can't not be me.
No, I get completely what you're saying. But do you find it hard to be super genuine in this profession, just being you? Do you have moments where you maybe doubt or just kind of really express? And like I see you out there, you're just training without your shirt on, and it just seems like you don't care, which is amazing.
Yeah, I've always try and question that, like try and push the boundaries of if I care about something, maybe try and test myself and like, why do I care about it? Like I'm just maybe scared of judgment. Yeah. And in tennis, definitely, you get a lot of that. Well, you put the judgment on yourself, but really, yeah, it's just you do face a lot of judgment because you see all these big people, big names, and coaches and stuff, and you kind of have to put on a mask, so to speak, to sometimes interact. But yeah, I always try and test my own limits of try and be a bit more careless and just not worry so much about and not take life and tennis so serious. Because what's the point of taking stuff serious?
100%. Yeah, dude, it's reflecting in your play style. It makes sense, everything you're saying from this year and how you kind of like taking so seriously and then just relinquishing this kind of and letting go of that. It makes sense for the sort of game style that you want to play and execute, and for you to be able to execute that at the highest level. Mm-hmm. And watching you out there, dude, your athleticism's out of control. Like it's nuts, man. It's how I aspire to be if I was full-time athlete. Like I would love to kind of really get stuck in that way and play that way, where in my own way I love throwing myself around the court, like dive, full splits, stretch shots. Is that something that you've always had? What sort of gym workout are you doing? Like what sort of gym work are you doing? Because you look like you're in top nick.
Thanks. I think being 5'7", being 5'7" helps definitely, and 68 kilos. I think that's a lot easier to be athletic and fast.
Well, you essentially have to be.
If I wasn't fast, I would be probably tradie somewhere. So I definitely wouldn't be playing tennis if I was 5'7" and slow. That'd be a tough ask. But uphill battle. I think it's thanks to my dad for the genetics, to be honest, and the fast metabolism.
Cheers, Dad.
Thanks, Dad. I've got a lot of help in the gym from National Academy, but now I kind of do my own stuff. Yeah. I've seen a lot of stuff myself and got a lot of help from those guys at the National Academy, some great coaches. So just but I try and be super creative. I don't like a tight kind of schedule or program. I get in the gym and I do a lot of exercises. You
just float between them?
Yeah, but I've stopped doing, probably a fair few years ago, I stopped doing heavy weights.
Yep.
I just saw a lot of injuries in the tennis space and of people doing like really heavy weights.
Sure.
I just felt like there's no point. I need to stay really mobile and really, really agile. And I feel like I can build that without having to go so heavy on the weight and risking injury.
Yeah.
So I started doing a lot more calisthenic stuff, a lot more balanced stuff, a lot more like weight on the one side, like really trying to be super balanced so I'm stable out in the court.
Yeah. What are some of those things? So the calisthenic stuff,
like pistol squats.
Yep.
I'll be doing like Bulgarian split squats, and you get like the TheraBand on the one side of the barbell and have a kettlebell there.
Yes.
I'll do like so it's just like you're trying to really stay stable with the core. Do lunges with that, like above head. What else do I do? Arabesque. Yeah. I do a fair bit of stretching. But I get really, really creative with it. There's no like, I don't do like, I never count reps either. I just go till I feel. I try to get really creative with it, like jumping on the Swiss ball, trying to learn how to like do that, like doing squats on that, handstands, just getting really creative. I don't think there's one way to do it. I don't feel like you need to be super strict. And I get in the gym a fair bit, but yeah, I don't feel like you have to smash yourself with heavy weights all the time. Like try and have more of a sustainable approach and being able to do gym and still hit twice a day. You know,
Yeah,
not
100%.
being so cooked from the gym that you can't like hit.
I don't see why the gym and having a workout routine can almost like invigorate you to feel like very electric and alive.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where maybe some athletes get it, maybe not wrong, but approach it in a way that's almost detrimental to keep training while being on the road.
Yeah, definitely. It's really easy to get out of that habit of gym when you're on the road. You can kind of use the excuse of, I'm playing a tournament, you know, I don't cook myself. But yeah, I've tried to have it where I feel good after gym, you know, I don't feel wrecked.
Yes.
You know, I actually feel like, I feel a burn and I'll feel maybe a tiny bit sore, but I feel like I can do that and I can train 4 hours, like no worries.
Yeah. So how many workouts are you doing? Let's kind of break this down a little bit more. So when you're on the road, are you still training in the gym most days, like 4 or 5 times a week while training or while playing a tournament?
I'd say during a tournament, if I've lost, depends how you go in the tournament. If you're winning, I'm not going to do any gym. I'll just stretch. But if I've lost first round, I'll probably try to get 2 gym sessions out that week.
Yep.
But yeah, you can tailor it. Yeah, you can do some days. Maybe I just want to do a really, really light day the day before. But yeah, I just kind of just go with how I'm feeling. Again, I don't say, all right, I've lost, I have to do gym this day. I just go. If I think, I'll just go, I'll do gym tomorrow, or maybe I'll just have a day off and I'll get back into the next day. But I have no set number. But when I'm training, I do gym every day, like 6 days a week. I'll get in the gym.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling a bit tired, I'll just do a light day, or maybe I'll just do just a bit of core and a lot of stretching, or maybe I'll just do a lot of like weighted flexibility stuff, or maybe I just get in there and do a lot of rehab for my shoulder. I'm always trying to just do something, something for the body.
Yeah, amazing. Any plyometrics? Like real kind of explosive, like springy?
No, I did when I was younger.
Comes pretty naturally to you though, hey?
Yeah, I've never. Maybe I'll get found out when I'm playing 5 sets, but I haven't really lost too many matches off fitness, so I haven't felt the need to really exert my body and put that under so much stress doing like a lot of cardio and stuff. And plyometrics, I feel like I'm pretty athletic. Maybe I could jump higher, but I mean, I don't know. I don't do heaps. I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I feel like I do a lot of movement on the court, but maybe that's something I could.
Is that your strength, that you feel like you can just, if it comes down 3 sets, you got pretty much everyone covered? Or you back yourself in? You back yourself in?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like as the match goes on, I almost start to feel better, and the adrenaline kicks in. You know. But yeah, maybe hopefully if I have a good end of the year, I can be preparing for main draw of Aussie Open, so maybe I have to get out in the hills and do some sprints or something to get ready for 5 sets. But at this stage, I just don't feel the need to really put my body under that much stress.
Yeah.
And unless I have some evidence showing me that I need to change it up, then I will.
Because you have one of the longest 3-set matches in Australian history, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
How long was it? What was this match?
It was 4 hours 40 last year against Adam Walton in the semis of Darwin. Yeah. 4 hours, yes, 4 hours 30. I had a toilet break, 10-minute break after the second set because it was the heat rule. It was pretty hot. So I think the actual total playing time was 4 hours 15 or something like that. But I think the world record for 3 sets, 4 hours 40. Yeah. So pretty close. But that was, just the day before I was talking to my mate, maybe it was Callum or Sam Oster. And I was saying, I've never had a 6 in the third. We're talking about scores. It's like, I've never had a 7-6, 6-7, 7-6, or it's just a 6-6-6 before. And then, the next day I'm playing Walton and it's 7-6, 6-7, 7-6, like 4 hours 30. And that was, we weren't even, I was getting the twitch cramps a little bit, but we were both like pretty decent. I think I more got cramps for the nerves at the end, you know, yeah. But it's such a fun match. I think that's one of the best feelings when you're out there playing with someone, you're both playing good. It's an absolute battle. It's neck and neck. You know, I think that's one of the best feelings. So I think that's when I really thrive. I think Yeah, maybe if I think about it, that feeling is really up there in tennis.
That's got to be one of my favorite feelings, when both players are just playing lights out and you're having that battle.
It's absolute war. There's not, it's so good. And you almost, the result, you don't even care because you're so enthralled in the battle. Like, it is so much fun and so intense. There's so many hectic emotions. You're fighting the other guy, you're fighting your own mind. And it's just, it's chaos.
The presence in those matches is like, there's nothing like it. You are so present and so focused in that. And that nothing, you're in another world.
Just go full primal. Yeah. It's like you're hunting for your next meal. You're not sure when it's going to come. You're just so aware, so ready.
100%. Yeah, that makes it all worth it. I still think about some of these matches. I'm like, wow.
Like, they're definitely some of the best memories. Yeah.
Any other matches like that?
The next day, actually, I played Omar in the final and it was 3 hours 30. And like Omar and Walton, they're probably two guys you don't want to play back to back. Like, they don't miss. They don't know what unforced error means. It's not in their vocabulary. But against Pullman's, actually, early in the year, I was playing a final against him on the dirt in Canberra at 25k, and I had a flight to Japan that evening. I think it was like the only decent flight, and I was playing, I'm not sure, maybe at 12, and my flight was at 4 or 5, something. And I booked it flexible, of course. But I was out there, we were out there for, I think, 3.5 hours, and I ended up missing my flight. During the presentation, I was like, Cal, you have to get on my account, you have to rebook another flight, I'm going to miss this flight. And he did that for me while I was like, talking the presentation. But yeah, that was a classic match. It went so long that I missed my flight. Yeah.
Was that the final?
Yeah, it was a final.
Was that one of the first few tournaments you won?
That was the last tournament I won. Yeah, I think. Yeah, that was the last one I won. But yeah, it was playing Marky. It's always actually the last time he snipped me, but usually it's a war. Yeah, there's another guy that doesn't really know what unforced error means as well. Yeah.
Too many of them around.
Yeah.
Any mentors? Any people that stand out on the journey that you go like, yeah, they've really shaped me or they've really helped me on my path?
From a tennis perspective, yes, but from a holistic kind of life perspective, not really. No. There's not really anyone I look up to or looked up to. Just my friends and family, really. They've definitely shaped me the most.
Anyone from a tennis perspective? Who are those tennis mentors that have been great for you along the way?
I mean, all the NA coaches I've had, Mark Draper, Des Tyson, Ben Mathias, Jamie Morgan, they've all been great help for my tennis. There's more that I'm missing. My dad would have to be the biggest, actually. From a tennis perspective, he's the one that, he was there when I started playing and he's coaching me now. He kind of took the back seat while I went to NA for like 9 years or 10 years, but now like he's back in the driver's seat, and he's never actually coached anyone, never played before. So I feel like that almost made me question working with him full time, especially when I'm going pro. But I definitely have confidence in the way he sees my game, and he really reads it well, keeps it super simple. He's a simple dude. And I think that helps me from overanalyzing, and I think we work well together. And
so he's on the road with you?
Yeah, right now he's here. He travelled with me probably like 3 months this year.
Yeah, sick.
He's trying to travel a bit more.
What's that like, having him on the road?
It's been really good. It's been a big adjustment period. I was staying in a room with him for like 3 months, and I was playing European Challenges. I didn't know anyone at the tournaments, so it was just me and my dad. And we get along great, but still it's a massive adjustment period. I'm so used to being on my own or just hanging out with friends, and then I'm in the room with my dad all the time and like having meals with him, on the court with him. It was great that I allowed him to be able to travel. He has barely traveled before.
Yeah.
And it's great. I'm keen to continue it in the future, but definitely it was an adjustment period, not having so much alone time and almost feeling a bit responsible for someone. I want to make sure he's having a good time. And it's easy. We don't butt heads, but it's easy I notice I catch myself like especially if I'm struggling on the court, maybe I'm not happy with how I'm hitting. I want to kind of out ash at him.
Yeah,
and
understandable. I get it.
And yeah, it's funny. It's definitely he's definitely shows me I've got a bit of work to do and just staying a bit more calm. But yeah, he's been a great influence on my tennis and life.
Has it been great for your relationship with him? Do you feel like you've gone to like a deeper level of connection and relationship through just having him there through this journey?
Yeah, definitely, because I've never spent so much time with him except when I was young. I've lived out of home since I was 15, so it's just great to have that. You get to know someone for sure when you're on the road that much and you're spending so much time with them. But yeah, definitely, it's. I think it was a bit of adjustment period for both of us at the start, but definitely it's helped our relationship. And this tournament's been super fun. I think it's helped having so many guys. He's got to know a lot of the Australian players that he only knew the names of. He's having a couple of beers at the pub with him, so it was great. Like great to see him getting amongst it and getting to know my friends because they're awesome people.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. Amazing, man. Any performance hacks or anything you kind of do to kind of elevate your performance to give you like maybe an edge in some way?
I'd say do Andrew Huberman's morning routine. Get some sunlight in the eyes. Hold off from your coffee intake too early.
Guilty today.
Yeah, guilty today. But no hacks. I mean, there's things you can do to help, motivation, like have a cold shower. But I'd say my performance hacks when I'm at home, just getting in the ocean early in the morning, getting the sunrise. It's like watching the sunrise as I'm swimming, and then getting a nice coffee, starting the day.
Amazing.
But I'd say performance hacks is just have a good balance. There's no thing, but I'd say just make sure you're having some fun with it as well.
Yeah. Do you seek out tournaments that are coastal, that you can get down to the beach and try to have a bit more of a like that beachy lifestyle while playing?
Conditions would take number one priority, but then location would take close second.
Yeah.
Definitely, if there's a tournament where there's a beach, I'll be looking at it pretty hard. And not even a beach, but any just body of water I can swim in. It's just great. Yeah.
Any spots that you look back on and go like, yeah, that was sick, or I love this place?
Split in Croatia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was unreal. Just getting in. It was pretty cold there at the time, but just making myself get in the cold water, and just it's such a beautiful place. There hasn't been that many tournaments. Tunisia was pretty cool. People talk trash about that place, but I actually love the setup there. Maybe because I'm just so biased with it because it has a beach. But no others probably stand out. Not that I can think of right now. I'm sure there's more.
Any intentions or anything for the year ahead or the next years ahead? Probably not looking too far ahead, but just from this learning, anything you really want to kind of take away moving forward to the next period, moving into maybe Aussie summer and just beyond?
I'd say just trying to let it happen, not let my mind interfere too much and overanalyze, especially if there might be times next year I'm struggling, but just trust it and use the win against Taro and use the close matches I've had with top guys to show me that it's there. It'll happen. I just need to let it unfold. And feel like it's shown me the more I interfere with the process, the less it will happen. Yeah. So I don't think there's any kind of goals. I think I can get to top 100 next year, but at the same time, and just whenever it happens, it will happen. If it doesn't happen, then I've set myself up with having a even decent enough career now to probably make some good money coaching. So there's always, I've done good enough now where I can make a living. But I'm just really looking forward to just the years ahead of just being able to travel and all the ups and downs, and looking forward to the roller coaster.
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I really respect your perspective. I feel like you keep it so simple, grounded, you're humble, and you got a great head on your shoulders, not wanting or expecting too much, just enjoying the journey. just got that Sunshine Coast boy in you, just wanting to have a good time with all the stoke.
Yeah, that's number one priority. Have a good time. Like, you can't have too much of a good time. You gotta, yeah.
Again, like you get the balance. Obviously, living the balance is super tough, challenging. But dude, I got nothing but respect, and I think you're in a really good place, man. And the mindset and the headspace that you come at it from, with the perspective you have, I think is really going to serve you, man. So I think you're creating a great platform for the years ahead.
Thank you very much. Yeah, appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming on, man. It's been awesome, and it's been great to get to know you in the last couple of days at the Chally, and look forward to seeing you from afar and just connecting when we can.
Yeah, cool. Thanks so much for having me. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Mad respect, bro.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya, bro.
Ciao.